If you live with a male cat, you already know how quietly deep that bond can be. The way he watches you from across the room, follows you through the house, or curls up near you when the world goes quiet, it feels personal, even when you can't fully explain why. And then one day, especially during certain seasons, his behavior changes. He becomes louder, closer, more insistent. It can feel confusing, even overwhelming. But what if nothing is wrong? What if your cat isn't acting out but trying to communicate in the only language he has? In this video, we're not judging behavior or offering quick fixes. We're simply listening. We're looking at what your male cat is experiencing during mating season and why he may need you more than usual. Because when you understand what he's really saying, something beautiful happens. Frustration turns into empathy, and connection becomes trust. If you've ever noticed your male cat suddenly becoming louder, closer, and far more insistent than usual, you're not imagining it. One week he's calm and predictable. The next, he's pacing the house, vocalizing at odd hours, demanding attention, and following you from room to room like he can't afford to lose sight of you. Most owners label this as neediness, misbehavior, or boredom. But during mating season, this shift isn't random, and it isn't a personality flaw. What you're witnessing is a biological switch being flipped. Mating season brings powerful hormonal changes that heighten a male cat's instincts. His senses sharpen. His drive to seek, protect, and assert territory intensifies. And when those instincts surge inside the safety of your home where he cannot roam freely or fulfill every impulse, they often redirect toward the one constant he trusts most, you. That's why the behavior feels personal. The extra meowing, the insistence on physical contact, the way he disrupts routines or seems restless even when nothing in your environment has changed. To you, it looks like he's suddenly become demanding. To him, it's a response to internal pressure he doesn't know how to explain. This chapter reframes what's happening. Your cat is not trying to annoy you. He isn't being dramatic. He's navigating a season where instinct takes the lead, and comfort, familiarity, and reassurance become essential for him to stay regulated. In moments like this, your presence becomes more than companionship. It becomes stability. Over the next chapters, you'll see why mating season amplifies these behaviors, what your cat is actually communicating when he becomes more demanding, and how your response can either reduce his stress or unintentionally intensify it. Because once you understand what's driving this change, you stop seeing it as a problem to manage and start recognizing it as communication from an animal whose instincts are running at full volume. During mating season, a male cat's behavior is driven less by choice and more by chemistry. The most powerful change happening inside his body is a surge in testosterone. This hormone doesn't just influence mating, it heightens alertness, increases restlessness, and intensifies the urge to seek, patrol, and respond to anything that feels emotionally or territorially significant. In simple terms, his internal volume is turned up. That's why everyday behaviors suddenly become amplified. Vocalization increases because his nervous system is more aroused. Pacing, window watching, and repeated attempts to get your attention are not habits he picked up overnight. They're expressions of an overstimulated biological state. When he can't follow his instincts outdoors, or encounter other cats directly, that energy doesn't disappear. It redirects inward, into your shared space. At the same time, stress chemistry begins to shift. Elevated arousal often brings higher cortisol, the hormone associated with tension and alertness. Your cat may feel unsettled even in a familiar environment. He might struggle to rest, appear easily frustrated, or demand contact in ways that feel new to you. What looks like clinginess is often a self-regulation strategy, seeking touch, routine, and proximity to lower internal pressure. This is why you may notice him becoming more insistent about being near you. Your scent, your voice, and your presence provide predictable signals in a body that currently feels unpredictable. From his perspective, staying close is not emotional dependency, it's biological grounding. Understanding this chemical shift changes how you interpret his behavior. He isn't choosing to be difficult. His system is responding to a seasonal surge that intensifies instinct, heightens sensitivity, and makes regulation harder without external reassurance. When you recognize that hormones are taking the wheel, you stop asking, "Why is he acting like this?" and start seeing what he's actually doing, trying to stay balanced in a body that is suddenly demanding more from him than usual. When mating season begins, A male cat's world doesn't just become louder inside his body, it also feels more competitive outside of it. Instinct tells him that other males exist, that territory matters more, and that security can't be taken for granted. Even if your home hasn't changed, his perception of risk has. And in that heightened state, he looks for one thing above all else: a place where he feels unquestionably safe. For many male cats, that place is not a room or a corner. It's a person. You are the most stable element in his environment: your scent, your routines, the way you move through the house. During mating season, proximity to you becomes a form of reassurance. Staying close helps him confirm that his territory is intact and that the social bond he relies on is still secure. This is why he may follow you more closely, sit in doorways, or position himself between you and open spaces. What appears as clingy behavior is often territorial vigilance paired with attachment. You might also notice changes in where he chooses to rest. Sleeping near your head, at your feet, or directly against your body is not random placement. Each position reflects a balance between protection, monitoring, and comfort. He wants to remain connected while still keeping watch over what he perceives as his core territory, your shared space. In this season, you are not just a source of affection. You represent continuity in a time when his instincts are telling him that the world is more unstable than usual. By staying near you, he reinforces his sense of control and safety. Understanding this shifts the narrative. He is not demanding attention because he is insecure or spoiled. He is anchoring himself to what feels most reliable. In a period when instinct pushes him toward competition and alertness, your presence becomes the one place where he can momentarily stand down. What you experience as increased dependence is, in his language, trust under pressure. During mating season, your male cat isn't just feeling more, he's expressing more. Behaviors that were once subtle become louder, more frequent, and harder to ignore because his internal state demands output. This is communication in overdrive. Take the increase in vocalization. The sudden yowling, chirping, or persistent meowing is not random noise. It's a stress and arousal signal. His nervous system is highly activated, and sound becomes one of the fastest ways to release pressure and seek feedback from the environment. When he directs those sounds at you, he isn't asking for something specific, like food, every time he's asking for regulation. Your response, even a few words or eye contact, tells him he's not alone inside that heightened state. Physical contact follows the same logic. If he pushes into your legs, climbs into your lap, or insists on sleeping close, he is creating a calming feedback loop. Touch, warmth, and your steady presence help lower internal tension. What feels like constant attention-seeking is actually a biological strategy to stabilize himself. You may also notice him becoming rigid about routines, demanding meals at exact times, hovering when you prepare for bed, or reacting strongly if a pattern changes. In a season when his instincts are chaotic, routine becomes control. Predictability tells his nervous system that not everything is uncertain. What matters most here is how you interpret these signals. If you respond with frustration, punishment, or sudden withdrawal, you increase the very stress he is trying to discharge. If you acknowledge the communication through calm interaction, brief play, or consistent routines, you help his system settle. This chapter is about decoding, not correcting. Your cat isn't acting out. He is broadcasting his internal state in the only language he has. Once you recognize that his demanding behavior is a form of communication under biological pressure, you stop fighting the symptoms and start addressing the message behind them. Once you understand that your male cat's demanding behavior during mating season is driven by biology and communication, not attitude, the question becomes simple. How do you support him without reinforcing stress or creating new problems? The goal is not to eliminate his instincts, but to help his nervous system regulate in healthy, predictable ways. Start with structured attention. Instead of responding constantly throughout the day, offer short, intentional interaction windows. 2 or 3 brief play sessions using a wand toy or laser allow him to discharge restless energy safely. End play with a small meal or treat. This mirrors the natural hunt-eat-rest cycle and helps his body transition out of high arousal. Next, protect routine. During this season, consistency is medicine. Keep feeding times, bedtime cues, and household patterns as stable as possible. If he becomes demanding at night, introduce a calm pre-sleep ritual. Dim lights, quiet play, then a final feeding. Predictability tells his nervous system that the environment is still under control. Create environmental anchors. Provide spaces where he can watch safely, window perches, quiet corners, familiar bedding with your scent. These areas allow him to monitor without feeling exposed. Avoid overstimulation from new animals, loud disruptions, or sudden changes when possible. Use contact strategically. If he seeks touch, offer calm, grounded interaction rather than frantic attention. Slow strokes, steady voice, and relaxed body language reinforce safety without escalating dependence. Finally, consider the long-term conversation with your veterinarian. Neutering is a medical decision, but behaviorally, it often reduces hormonal intensity and seasonal distress. Approach it as an informed choice, not a punishment. What you should avoid is just as important. Don't punish vocalizing, don't abruptly ignore him, and don't respond only when behavior becomes disruptive. Those reactions increase stress and teach him that regulation comes through escalation. When you respond with structure, predictability, and calm connection, you're not just managing behavior, you're communicating back in a language he understands. You are safe here. By now, the pattern is clear. During mating season, your male cat is not becoming difficult, he is becoming more instinct-driven. Hormones heighten his arousal. Stress chemistry makes regulation harder. Perceived competition sharpens his need for security, and communication shifts into overdrive. What you experience as demanding behavior is the outward expression of all of that pressure moving through a body that doesn't have words. But beneath the biology is something more personal. In the season, when instinct pushes him outward to roam, to assert, to seek, he repeatedly turns back to you. He follows you through the house. He insists on your presence at night. He seeks your voice, your touch, your routine. That choice is not accidental. It means that when his internal world becomes unstable, you are the reference point that restores balance. This is the part most people miss. Demanding behavior is often framed as neediness, weakness, or bad training. In reality, it is a form of trust under pressure. Your cat is not losing independence. He is revealing where his sense of safety lives when instinct is loudest. You are not just a provider of food or comfort, you are part of his territory, his emotional map, and his regulation system. Understanding this changes how you respond. You stop seeing the behavior as something to suppress and start seeing it as communication that deserves clarity and calm. Your structure, your routines, and your grounded presence become the signals that tell his nervous system it can stand down, even when biology is urging him forward. So the next time mating season arrives and your cat becomes more vocal, more present, more insistent, remember what it truly means. In the most instinct-driven period of his life, he is not choosing chaos. He is choosing connection. And in his language, that choice says something simple and profound. You are where he feels safe. If this video helped you see your cat with a little more understanding, I'm really glad you were here. You can gently support this channel by liking the video. It helps these quiet, caring messages reach other cat owners who need them. If you feel comfortable, share in the comments what your cat does during mating season. You're not alone in this. And if you'd like more calm, honest insights into your cat's inner world, you're always welcome to subscribe, because when we understand them better, we love them better.